Hello, I'm Narendra, and I'm back with another Mulla Nasrudin story. In my previous video, I gave you an overview of the concept of Mulla Nasrudin, and there I illustrated the concept with one story where Nasrudin is searching for his lost key under the streetlight. And today I'm going to tell you another story. The name of the story is Why Are We Here? The story goes like this that one day Nasrudin was walking through a deserted street in the evening when he saw a group of horsemen coming from the other side. So Nasruddin suddenly gave in to wild imaginations and he thought that they were slave traders who would catch him and sell him in a slave market and all that. So he got scared and ran towards the side of the road where there was a wall. That wall was actually the wall of a graveyard. He jumps over the wall, goes into the graveyard, and finding an empty grave, he just goes and lies in there. In the meantime, the travelers who were coming from the opposite side, they were innocent travelers, ordinary travelers. So they saw this man running and running over the wall of the graveyard, and so they went inside to investigate what's going on. And they see Mullah Nasruddin lying inside an empty grave, and they said, "Okay, hey, what's the problem with you? We saw that you just jumped over the wall like this, and now we see that you are lying in this grave. Uh, why are you here?" So Nasruddin then realizes his mistake and he says, "Well, all the questions are not easy to answer. What if I say that I am here because of you and you are here because of me? It all depends on your viewpoint." So that's the story. And this story has, again, multiple layers of meanings. We do not see life as it is. Life is largely a projection of our own minds. Though we see the same physical world, the world is not the same for all of us. Uh, a poet, when he sees the mountains in the springtime, he bursts into a song. He writes a poem. Whereas an industrialist who is engaged in the mining business, for him the mountain is nothing but a mine for minerals to be exploited for commercial gain. A person cannot tolerate his wife anymore and he wants to divorce her immediately. Whereas another person is already in the queue to marry the same woman. A person who frequents the discotheque, he would fall asleep in a classical music concert. Whereas a classical music connoisseur, he would go half mad in a discotheque. So, objects being the same, when the experiences are different, we have to understand the difference lies in our minds. The physical world is the same, but our minds are different. So, we don't see the world as it is, we see the world as we are. That's what Nasruddin says. It depends on your viewpoint. The existential philosopher, he says, philosopher Albert Camus, he says, life is absurd. Whereas the poet Wordsworth, his heart dances with the daffodils. A person finds life so intolerable that he commits suicide. But Tagore writes, I do not wish to die in this beautiful world. So, as is the mind, so is the world. And there is interdependence. There is interdependence in the sense that our actions impact the lives of others and their actions impact our lives. We have a perception that whatever we want to do or we plan to do, we can do it. But things are in a way where our actions, whatever consequences they bring, they're also impacted by the actions of others. For instance, Hitler planned that he would establish a 1,000-year-old Reich, and then he met the doggedness of the Soviets, and in 12 years his game was over. The 1,000-year-old Reich died 88 years before its reign. So events are actions, and events they impact each other. There's interdependence. There's a factor of interdependence. That is also another aspect of the story where Nasruddin says, "I am here because of you, and you are here because of me." Again, at a more fundamental level, Nasruddin is raising the question, or the story raises the question, why are we here? Are we here in this world to buy more houses, to buy houses and cars? And what happens after you buy houses and cars? What do you do after that? You buy more houses, you buy more cars. Soren Kierkegaard, the Danish philosopher, he raises some very deep questions. Where am I? What is this thing called the world? Who has put me here without my consent? Why was I not consulted? How did I come here? Why am I here? These are the questions he raises. And in the same way, the story also raises this question, why are we here? Surely not to buy houses and cars. So, any spiritual progress, any spiritual development has to start with this question, why are we here? Thank you very much. I'll be meeting you in my next video with another Nasruddin story. Thanks for viewing.